Welcome. On this channel, I do unscripted, unedited videos about Linux programming and stuff. I'm primarily working on a mini MMO toy project. And most recently, for the last few videos, I have been working with Claude to build and refactor a multi-producer, multi-consumer queue. And I'll be continuing with that in this video. So previously, I had asked Claude to give us a review of the code that is here. And I've been picking away at some pieces of this, and I think I will continue to do exactly that today. So let's make a proposal to let's actually go a little further here to update queue. We'll do source queue.c so that we'll see what how that blends in here. So that so that so that it returns bool, so that it returns bool instead of int for Boolean functions. Queue is empty. Let's just do this. Queue is empty, and queue is full. The code basis for this particular module is shaped up pretty nicely, I think. I mean, it is one of the most core pieces that I need in the beginning here, right? I'm going to have an epoll loop. That epoll loop is going to shove messages onto this queue, and then the multiple workers will peel them off of there and process them. Read 49. Here's my proposal. Change reviewed. Add standard bool. Include to update function signatures. Update handle error. Q.h. Q.c. Propose. Include. No. In addition, propose the necessary changes to test q tests.c so that it supports. In addition, propose the necessary updates. Updates to test QC so that it supports the described changes, the above described changes, changes. It's getting to the point where anything with a signature change is a bit of work for it to update now, because the tests, there's so many tests. It kind of depends on the complexity. This one shouldn't be too bad. We're going from something that's returning a 0 to returning false, an int to a bool. It should be pretty straightforward. In the previous video, we updated how we were handling the errors, and that changed the signatures a bit on some really core functions, and it took it a bit to process through that. It did, though, without any additional prompting from me. It just took it a little bit. Okay, affected test functions, add standard bool, update all assertions for Q is empty to use Boolean values, update all assertions for Q is full to use Boolean values. This approach maintains, okay, so looks good. The null pointer error case is now, hold it. This approach maintains compatibility while improving type safety. The null pointer error case is now returned false instead of -1, which is more intuitive for Boolean functions. Okay, so apply the proposed, apply all of the proposed changes and verify that all tests pass. This one might go really smooth. So after I get this Q class done, I will probably, I think, be working on the main ePoll loop and getting that set up so that it runs and listens for connections and hands off the messages and the workers take them. That one, I'm going to, again, start as uncomplicated as I can and add to it. That I honestly think will end up getting to the end of that is probably one of the harder pieces of code I'll end up prompting through for quite a while, because it's the whole main loop. There's another chunk that'll come later where I'm trying to handle the update of the game state, the main loop for the game state, and that one also I think will be really complicated to work through with Claude. Yes, obviously include standard bool. I may take some time to update the makefile. So I don't think I was aware of it before, but so I'm using what some people refer to as a unified style for the C structure, and basically there's only like there's server.c, and then server.c includes all the other C files, so it creates a single compilation unit. I don't think I was aware of this, but prior to just a few days ago, but GCC, and I'm assuming CLang, I haven't checked it out there, but I'm sure they're able to generate a dependency list for, they have a -MD or something like that option that they can take, and they will look at a file and generate the dependency list for that file. Well, you can bake that into the makefile, and then even though I have these all sitting in one directory, I have the separate server in the make, or the separate server in the client, but you can still get all the behavior of it only remaking when its own dependencies change, because you can literally have it just add the dependencies to the make process. That probably didn't come across very well. What the makefile is doing right now is it's basically saying, hey, if anything in the source folder changes, just rebuild them all. Excellent. All changes can be successfully updated. The previous prompt was to verify that tests pass, but what we'll do is propose a commit message for this change set. Don't forget to include the single attribution line. I'm so sick of doing this. It keeps forgetting this attribution line for Claude. And while it's doing that, I'm going to come over here and do a make clean, make test. Just verify that we really do have passing tests everywhere. Get status. So the only things changed are Q and let's look at a get diff of source QC. Pretty much everything I would expect. Okay. Clear, jump back to that. Got a nice commit message, and we'll say apply, apply. commit has been applied. Oh, I wonder if it can git push. I'm just going to type the command here. I'm going to see if it figures it out. Git push GitHub main. I mean, it's the dumbest thing in the world for me to type it into this prompt, pay for the tokens. But that is what I just did. Okay, so let's clear that. Let's jump back over here. We done that, so that's done. I want to do this one, so suggest, let's do propose a change to source q dot c that that uses that is not what I wanted. Wrong buffer. That uses calloc that uses calloc to 0 initialize Okay, we'll let it make a suggestion. I mean, it's its own suggestion, right? Just a little bit of modification. This shouldn't affect any tests, but we'll update it anyway. Do you want to make this edit to q.c? Use calloc. Yes. Verify. Actually, why let it do it when I can do it quicker? Make clean. Make test. Propose a git commit message, and don't forget to add a single attribution line for Claude. The reason I've been doing that is because I'm assuming that over time I'm going to use a lot of different models to write this, and it'll be a little bit interesting to see if I wanted to like compare the kind of code changes that they do later on down the road. Anyway, so apply the proposed git commit. So I'm gonna, so we just push the code to GitHub. I want to see if it can figure that out. I think it will. Git push. Nope. 3. Oh, I wonder if Origin even exists. It might have worked. Git push Origin. I thought I renamed it to, I know I renamed it to GitHub, but is Origin still there? Git push Origin main does not work. Git push GitHub main. Okay, so clear that, clear that. Let's see what's next. Vim to do. Just kind of burn through these. Oops, it's already open. So we did that one. I'm pretty sure I can just look at this and I'm not going to do any of the additional features. So implement priority queue support, add batch operations, implement queue iteration with callback, add maximum weight. Nope. Consider implementing queue. Nope. Add queue capacity, resizing functionality. Nope. Implement merging and splitting operations. Nope. So none of these will ever get done. This one I'm going to look at. Consider implementing reader-writer locks for read-only operations. Maybe. I'll reevaluate in a minute when we get there. Add memory barriers. I think what my add overflow checks for capacity calculations. Consider implementing a memory pool for message allocations. I think propose a change in source queue.c that will add overflow checks for capacity calculations. Being very specific, you know, I'm always asking for just the change in QC first, and then the test changes if I need them. Just to reduce the scope that it's working in. Seems to... I mean, I guess I don't know that it's necessary. It's certainly not working. Okay, add a new error code. Integer overflow and capacity calculation. That is getting really down to the nitty-gritty. Like we're ever going to be calculating a capacity that large. I didn't actually fully. I mean, I don't think I fully understood what it was implying. Now I do. Replace the buffer allocation in queue create with an error flow safe version. Queue buffer calloc at a maximum capacity limit to prevent excessive allocations. After line 13, define queue max capacity, blah, blah, blah. Safe. Update the capacity validation. These changes ensure that buffer allocation cannot overflow on maximum, like it ever is going to happen. But hey, I want to make a server that can handle, 20,000 connections. So, hey, let's make sure. These changes ensure, yep, all capacity, yep. Okay, so propose the necessary, there's new error codes, so we'll see what happens here. Propose the necessary updates to support these changes. Propose the necessary updates in test q tests.c to support the above. What's probably going to happen here is instead of engineering like this super, like well-designed Q class, what we're going to end up with is something that has some critical flaw in it that's just not obvious to me, and can't be designed. It can't be iterated out later on. So I think I have this rock solid, indestructible, high-performing Q class or Q. Add the new tests. Update. So it's updating that test. It's adding some messages. Oh. I wish it gave a better diff when it was doing this. These are mostly the new. Okay, so apply all. The other reason that it's fairly safe for me to do this, right, is because I'm sitting on a clean Git branch right now. There's if it doesn't work out, I just reset hard and move on and try something different. Git apply all proposed changes. And so I do like committing each logical piece of work that I do. I mean, it's really the same thing you should be doing if you're writing it by hand. I'm realizing, like, this is only interesting if it eventually makes something that actually works like I intended. Otherwise, it's just me wasting time pretending like I'm writing, prompting it into code that doesn't ever mean anything. Case queue, error, overflow, blah, blah, blah. I mean, it does border on vibe coding what I'm doing here. But I'm going to go with prompt engineering for the time being. I like it better. Do you want to make this edit? And it's maximum safe capacity. This one is truly excessive. There is no way I'm going to get an integer overflow on a 32-bit integer with anything that I'm ever going to do here. But what the heck? I'm already here. It is something that you would just get for free in a lot of like modern interpreted languages like Ruby or whatever. You would just get this integer overflow for free. So do you want to make this edit? Check for overflow. Yep. Oh, here will be the little bit slow part. You got to add some tests. I really wish I could figure out. I haven't quite figured out how to look at my token usage specifically. So I have the Pro Max account or whatever it is, but I'm just going to have to do a little better investigation exactly what the token usage limits are. But given that I really only get to work on this 1 day a week, I don't think that I can. I hope that I can't burn through the tokens that I have. I did on the Pro account, and this has about 5 times more tokens. Do you want to make this edit? Yes. Yes. Running the tests. As the cow says, it is possible that this is all an AI hallucination. None of it's real. What do we got here? So this is in Q test. This should... think it's getting there. So another thing that I have to do in the near future is start to really look at the other tools in the ecosystem here. Like I know that MCP agents exist, for example, to connect to the database, right? The Postgres database. That's kind of the first example they throw out there. I don't know what other ones exist. I have no idea. I'm sure there are plenty. I guess I need to learn about them. All proposed changes have been successfully applied. The implementation, blah, blah, blah. Propose a git commit message that includes a single line attribution for Claude. That one I wish I could make it remember, but it just seems to forget that. Apply the commit. Proceed. So the thing we're going to want to do is that is the thing that we just did. Before I forget, I'll remove it. And we want to make clean, make test. Make sure it didn't lie to us after I've already committed it. We can still throw away the commit. Invalid capacity. Yeah, no, duh. Okay, so like that, whatever. I'm not gonna. What was I gonna do? So alls we need is to git push GitHub main and clear that, and we're ready to go for the next video. I will see you there.